It's May, we got a bonus guitar day, that's right. Literature. Hello, my friend. Gotta do parent things. That's cool. Just hanging out tonight, talking gear. Maybe how I get some of these crazy sounds. Yeah. Straight out of serotonin, what's going on? Hey, Janice. hey, hey. That was a little something. A little backing track. And a nice melody. That was fun. So hello everybody. It's Mayday. Mayday, Mayday. Emergency guitar stream. Why not? After 30 days, why not make it 31 days? I hope everybody was having a good day today. And, yeah. So that was a little jam track thing that I just found last night, actually. So that was fun. I'm going to probably edit that into the makings of a song because there's some really cool melodic ideas in there now that I just wrote in front of everybody. So some of them are good, some of them are not. We're of course going to keep the good ones. Yeah. So let's see who's hanging here. Wendy says hello to Mr. Formiati, but I did not see him yet go by. But if you're still here, hello. Hopefully I didn't miss you. Amy Lynn is hanging. Bonus guitar day. And we saw Matt drop in before. Let's see who else. Straight out of Serotonin hanging out as well. And Janice. Hello, Janice. And Wendy doing a wonderful job, as always, for the past 30 days, has been on Facebook. Facebook 2. YouTube. And Twitch. Taking care of business on all four platforms because there's two Facebook pages. So yes, Wendy has been really an awesome, huge help. So thank you so much, of course. And thanks. I'm glad you enjoy that track. Yeah, I'm liking it too. I'm gonna probably leave the key, or I may change the key. Not sure. And then there's a couple of chord changes I'm not digging, but I'm gonna change it. Excuse me, and make it my own, and keep some of those melodic ideas. So that was really fun. So I like that track. It's just a backing track from a program that I've been using for years called Band in a Box, and they are awesome. I've been using them from before they became an independent audio type platform, and yay, I got a cheer, I believe that is. Thank you. I'm so bad at this Twitch stuff. I got to really get that together. Jamie says, whoops, there he goes. Hold on. Get back here. Looking forward to Ultra Zone like guitar episode. Yes. Yep. Me too. That's going to be cool. And whether or not I can get Alistair involved, I will be doing it this month for sure. So that's going to be really cool. And I'm going to put together some pictures from the trip and do like a slideshow. And if it's not live, I'll just do it pre-recorded. And we'll have the guitar with some really nice pictures and some live footage maybe of Mr. Vi, if I'm allowed. We'll see if I can finagle that somehow. See how that goes. Let's see what Straight Out of Serotonin says. I have been working with using altered scales today, but looking at it as a melodic minor half step from the root instead works. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's a couple of ways you can look at altered scales. I really like looking at the melodic minor as a Dorian with a raised seventh, so that's a kind of cool thing. So basically what you do is you just treat Dorian mode, and you just raise that guy up. So that's a really cool sound. So yeah, just take your Dorian mode, and it's 1, 2, flat 3, right? 4, 5, 6, and it's usually flat 7. So you just raise that. And now it's up So it's kind of major minor. It's a weird sound, but that gives you that whole like melodic minor mode off of Dorian without thinking, geez, I got to figure out melodic minor. Yeah, thanks. And then, of course, working with that, you can do your, where is it? Come on, fingers, wake up. What's a better one to do? You could do like the spy chord, the major minor 7 deal. And if you work that off of, let's see, let's put it in the same key so it works. Right, so you got that. So it gets a real cool, creepy kind of sound. Yeah. I once tinkered with Oriental Arabic scales. Yes. Well, you know, it's really cool what you wind up finding out about some other type scales from different, you know, different cultures, and putting them up against some drone notes. So that's really the key, is if you put stuff up against a drone note. So I can do that in a second because I'm going to have some coffee. But if we just take like a, let's see, what would be a good drone note? We could just take an E, right? So let's mute this guy and give ourselves an E. Right, and then we can take that Dorian mode and raise that up and make it the melodic minor. Start hearing how things hit against that drone note. So now you could just change it right back to Dorian so you don't totally kill the melodic minor scale, and then come out of it and just go back to your regular Dorian. And then raise that back up again. And then it gets cool. Now you could also do a harmonic minor against that. Once you have a drone note, a single note, there's no stopping you. You could change multiple keys. Just start everything in E. Let's make it major happy. And now go back. Hours of endless entertainment. It's so much fun. So let's see. What's he got here? Try 1, flat 2, 4, 5, flat 7. It's the Insen scale, Japanese. It kind of sounds, the way those intervals are laid out, almost like Phrygian a little bit. Right? So 1, flat 2, 3, 4, right? That's pretty cool. Let's see. 1 flat 2 4. Yeah, 1 flat 2 4 5 flat 7. So that would be against major. So 1 2. We'll go from C. 1 2. So we'd skip 3. That's kind of cool too. Yeah, and what is the other? So harmonic minor is actually one of the modes of melodic minor. So you could even throw that in there and have your E going. So it's neat. There's so many different things to do with scales. It's the color of what we do. It's really cool. Let's see. Oh, I missed a bunch of things here. Hold on, hold on. Mr. Formiati says hello. Hello, Mr. Formiati. Good day, future man, all the way from Australia. And we have John. Hello, good evening. And or the one from Oh Darling. Oh yeah, so that's the augmented. The first chord of Oh Darling. It's an augmented chord. Yes. It's a great tune, by the way. Coffee sounds good. Coffee always sounds good. John Ramsey, hello. What's going on? Good to see you here. All right, we got some chatters going on. Let's see, scroll up here. Whoops. Dwight's saying hello. Got Wendy. No end to the fun. Absolutely. Yeah. It's cool. There's a bunch of different books that you can get with, I mean, now you could just get them online, but the books contain a lot of more organized format. So you can get like a scale book that has all of these different scales in it, and they'll give you chord examples and scales over chords and particular ones to use. So that way you could really hear the colors again of the chord within your scale choices. So it really makes things more interesting that way. So, oh man, I have so many scale chords over scales, scales over chord books. It's like crazy. But yeah, you can get a bunch of stuff for free online, of course. But depending on what and where you find it, you might not find such good examples. That's right, Wendy. I need a dermatologist to help me with these scales. That's right. Anybody a fan of the Infectious Grooves? The Infectious Grooves. Sarsipius with his insane blabber during the in between the songs, yes. The Source of Scales and Moving Patterns is a good read if you're in a rut. Yeah, I think I might have that one. And then I have a book that's actually just called Scales Over Chords, which is a really cool book. And where did that go? Where did Jamie's just go? There it is. I have one of those scale books. I dig the exotics. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely cool. Surfer Boy! That's right. Today's April 31st. And if I go live tomorrow, it'll be April 32nd. That's right. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So I just figured that I've been saying that I wasn't going to be doing Facebook anymore, but I realized I paid for a lifetime a lifetime membership to a streaming platform that allows you to stream to all these different services. So I'll keep streaming to Facebook for a while. I paid for it, so I might as well. Oh, yes. Let's see. Mel, hello, Mel. Can you illustrate how to learn a fast lick shredding lick like in Whitesnake song? Here I go again. I don't know that particular one, but it's Steve Vai. So pretty much all of those riffs are, the fast ones are usually modal based. And what I would do first is, if you're not playing your scales with 3 notes per string, then that's 98% 8% of the problem. Because I would even say that might even be 100% of the problem. I might go as far as saying 100% of the problem is if you're not using your 3 notes per string scales, then that's going to be a major hiccup. So what does that mean? That means all scales that you know, besides the pentatonic, so like major modes, so Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, all of that, right? Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, all the way out to the end there, octave again on Ionian. So all of those would need to be 3 note per string scales. So you'd have to learn all of those shapes. Okay, so 3 notes per string, and then that allows you to do like sequences of pretty much in this particular one, Ionian, everything doubles. So what does that mean, everything doubles? So 6 string off of C, right? So 6 whole steps, right? Not 6 whole steps, but you're playing whole steps, right? And then you go up to the next string, and then you go to the next string and duplicate exactly what you have, right? And then the next string, it's a different shape. It's just going to be 1, a half step, and then a whole step. Same thing on the next string. All right, so you got pairs. So that's usually what I teach my students at first is you got to really get the pairs down and get those smooth. Then work on 2 things. First, pick everything. All right, so pick it all. And then the next pair is actually whole step, half step. So that's every single pair with 3 notes per string, right? So that's what we want out of the gate. Is getting used to our 3 notes per string. Learn them in pairs in a major scale position. Then hammer them. That would be the next step. Now, everything that I'm talking about, you have to do with a metronome. There's just no way around it. So in order to really get good, you got to do everything with a metronome. It's just the way it is. So yeah, 4 notes and 5 notes per string is probably too much for someone that's just looking to get going with this. But where did that go? Where did that go? It was here somewhere. Where is it? Yes, you could play them as 4 or 5 too. And that was a big Alan Holdsworth thing. And that guy's a monster. And I think most people just really can't wrap their head around the 4 and 5 string single notes per. It's great and it's really good, but I don't recommend starting out there. I don't recommend starting out there. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, I missed another one. Oh, wait, why isn't this advancing? It's like my comments are stuck. Move it. I strive for augmented hiccups. Augmented is awesome. We'll get back to that in a minute. When I do like that big medley with all the spy tunes, basically, you know, my what's that? The first one that I do is I can't remember. I can only play it when Peter Gunn. Anyway, I purposefully made the middle section of that just an E drone. It's just the bass player playing E, and that's it. There's no chord changes, so that way I can do whatever I want there. And sometimes I really take it far out, and I'll do melodic, or I'll do a whole tone scale, and then go into like a dominant 7. And then from there, because it's so close, I might take it into a harmonic minor. So right in there somewhere we can go. So it sounds really disturbing, but it all sounds good. So that's a really fun way to do that, create tension. But getting back to the 4 and 5 4 notes, try 4 notes per string. You'll end up with a repeat, but some interesting tensions. Yeah, so when you do 4 notes per string, so now you want that F over here, if we're dealing with a major scale, like a C major. So now some guys will do that a little differently, so you can then get like this double thing. So you'd actually have to start it off of A. You can do it that way. See, and double. So it's really cool. And there's your other double. And then the same thing on this one. And the pattern's the same. But that's going to distract from where we were going before. So basically, to answer Mel's question, is after you get your scales together on on 3 notes per string in groups that are exactly the same, so doubles, repeats, same shape, new shape but doubles, new shape but double. Then you can start working on hammers. Whoops. And then you work on the middle section of hammers. So you have to do that here. Then start bringing it up. And the sky's the limit once you get that stuff together. And then you can add tapping to that. So if you wanted to add another finger in and you don't want to deal with the 4 notes as a big picked exercise. Whoop, I hit the wrong string. You can do the other finger. So that's another way to view tapping, is the additional finger and do 4 notes on a string. And that's pretty much what guys like Steve Vai, when he taps, Satriani, what's his name? Oh, there it goes, Satriani. I just said that. And my other favorite, Reb Beach. Reb Beach does a lot of tapping where he'll pull 4 notes a string. And then you have guys like Jeff Watson, who does 8-finger tapping and does 8 notes on a string. So 4 on this hand, 4 on the other. It's totally nuts. So anyway, again, it's just really endless for what you can do. It's just a matter of putting in the time on the technique that you really want to get down. So for me, like tapping and legato, I love that sound because it's very smooth. You know, you throw some distortion on there with a little delay and it's just awesome. And then the other thing you can do is you could pick frequently in between, but not everything. So that way you could supercharge your legato by just adding a couple of pick strokes. That was a big Van Halen thing. So Eddie would do stuff like, let's see, over here, he would do, what's it, and I'm the One. I think it's there. That's it, it's off at, I think it's here. Yeah, so I believe it's here at 11. And he didn't change his fingers. This is what's really cool about a lot of the Van Halen riffs, is he didn't care about what notes were in key and what notes weren't. He would just go, which was really cool. So this riff in particular is half in key and half out of key. So basically it's just 1, 2, 4, and you leave this little space here. And you just go up. So the pattern was, I think that was it exactly. I'd have to listen to the song again. But basically that's it. You're just hammering and you're picking every 3rd note, I think it is. Every 4th note. So it's every 1st note of the sequence as you're going up. Yeah, I don't remember it, but that's kind of how it works. Let's see. I'm going to send you a link of this dude from Poland named Marcin. He plays Paganini on acoustic. Very cool. Yeah, you send it to my Facebook message, private message. Yeah, throw it over there. I'll check it out. Paganini on acoustic is... Paganini on anything guitar is difficult because, of course, all the caprices were made for violin. So... we don't have the stretch on the guitar like you do on the violin for some of that stuff. So hopefully that helped Mel out with his question there. But yeah, so the fast shredding lick would be kind of either that Van Halen thing or just take all the notes and just blast through that major scale pattern that I showed you. And then just go as quick, you know, in time as you can. I did it better before. But anyway, you get the idea. Let's see. John says he can hardly hear me talking. Oh no. And Jamie says he taps to reach those notes. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Can hardly hear me talking. Interesting. Oh wait, I think the mic got pointed in the other direction. Let's see if that helps. All right, there we go. That might be better. Hopefully that's better. All right. Let's see. Cool, yeah. So, you know, I just wanted to jump on maybe for an hour tonight and do some jamming and talk gear and guitars. So I have my guitar that has the guitar synth capabilities on, which is the Roland GR55. And it's not wanting to play right now. Why is that? Hello. Maybe the battery died. We lost it. That's odd. That should have nothing to do with it. Oh, I see. Maybe we need to do that. It went to sleep. It needed a little awakening. Ah, yes. Wendy says better. John says better. I'm glad it's better. Yeah, I must have hit the mic when I put my coffee down before and it angled it the other way. We will watch out for that. So yeah, basically a lot of the cool things that I'm doing with these sustained type things. Let's see if I can show that on the floor. Pedals. Low battery. All right. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can take care of low battery. That's odd. It's plugged in. It's plugged in. It says low battery. Let's get rid of that. There we go. All right. So the GR55 over here has a guitar out. So I'm using the 13-pin cable. I guess we should come back to the full shot for that. So 13-pin cable. And what that means is it's a funky cable that you need to plug into the guitar, specifically designed for this, which is the GR55. And then what happens is it goes out along with the hex style piezos and triggers the guitar synth part. Okay. And that's on a volume pedal here. So I can do that and fade it in. And then over here, I could bring in the electric guitar and have a combination. And what happens is on one of the pins on this cable, it goes down to the GR55 and it has a specific guitar out 1/4 inch. And that goes back to the input of the Axe FX. And then headphones out for the stereo out of the cool sounds, the un-guitar sounds, the synth sounds. Okay, so those are guitar synth sounds. And then I have my regular guitar. And then I can also bring that over to here and bring in some cool fractal effects. It's great. Next time wear those those funky shoes when you screenshot the footboard. Yes, I know. I was unprepared for proper foot attire. Sorry. Is it still April, Archie says. Yes, it's April 31st. And if I go live again tomorrow, like I said earlier, it'll be April 32nd. Alright, so back to lame footwear. Well, these aren't so lame. I mean, we have, these are, what are these? These are Skechers, I believe. Yeah, Skechers. These are nice. You just can't see them because they're black, like everything else that I wear. So we have the synth with the, well, this is just Axe effects right now. And then I can bring in the GR55. They're not Crocs, trust me. So that really fills out a track when you're doing some, ambient style guitar. So it's a really cool effect. And the actual GR can do tunings. So I could go right over to here, and now this is in open D. So I could play a chord. The only thing is I got to remember to shut off the guitar. So if that's on, it'll sound terrible. But right now, the GR55 is tuned to an open D chord. So I could just play this. Sure I can. Turn it back up would help. And then we put the sustain on, bring the guitar back in and play in D, and everything's good. Cool sound. And now because it's tuned in D, if you think about it and you know where your notes are, according to the 6th string is D now open, so go a whole step away and this would be an E chord. Whoops, and we should shut the guitar off. This is going to sound bad if I don't. So that's E, and then we can come back to our guitar sound and do a little jamming over E. And then, of course, bring in your relative minor, right? So you got C sharp minor for E, right? So here we go. So basically, a lot of that stuff is great to do because now you can practice and have held notes going and really hear your chords and your scales over the chords like we were talking about earlier. All right. Hey, Surfer Boy, how's it going this evening? Archie's asking. Let's see. Closest I have to that sound is a Blue Sky. Yes. Those are cool pedals. I really dig I dig pedals, but since I got the Axe effects, I haven't really bought too many pedals in a while. They are very pricey, single one-offs, and a lot of the stuff you can get, you know, if you work at it, you could program it in the Axe effects. So I haven't really played too many of the newer pedals. I just have a lot of the old stuff. So a lot of Boss pedals, and I think I have I can't remember the company, but he was like a little shop, hand-wired in Florida, and he made this awesome rotary pedal. It was really good. And what else? I like Eventide stuff, hence the shirt. Eventide Rose pedal, that's a cool pedal. And the H9, that's an awesome pedal. But again, I don't really have too many pedals that are new because that's a rabbit hole from hell and it's a money pit. So let's see. So what speakers are you running through? So basically for the room, I'm just running through the PA, which you could see behind me. Going the wrong way. Right over my head there. There it is. That Fender. The Fender up there. Yeah. So I'm going through the Fender, and that's in the room. I have them on opposite ends of the room. And then if I was to broadcast from my Monday Night Live, like I did on my Monday Night Live, I'd be broadcasting from over there, and I would have those Tech 21s on, standing over there, just to get a little more feedback. But basically, even when I'm standing over there, the monitor's on the floor, that monitor there, and there's one on the other side, so left and right, I'm hearing the tracks through there and my guitar. And then I just use the Tech 21s again, just for that little bit of bleed to get, that little feedback kind of feel in the room. But really, I don't need it because the way I have these positioned, the speakers, I can catch some feedback, and this guy has the Sustainiac in it, so I can feedback until the battery dies. But live, if I was to play a gig, 90% of the time, because the cover band I was in had a killer PA, I would just go straight into the PA, and I stopped bringing my Tech 21s. I actually had another pair of those, the previous model. They were the beige front. They looked more vintage. And I just sold those to one of my students probably about 4 months ago. And he loves them, so I'm glad that I sold them because he's really enjoying them right now. And I'm not sure. I think he got into a cover band too, so he needed something for live, and he was asking me about different ones. And again, he's like, "Do you still have those Tech 21s? Because you have the new ones." And I was like, "Yeah, I still have the old ones." So I'm hoping I don't regret selling them, but that's okay. They're being used quite well, and he's enjoying them, so that's all that matters, because I wasn't using them. So, out with the stuff that I'm not using. Out! O-U-T! Except with guitars. I'll part with amps and probably wind up buying more guitars, which is what happens. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see. Anybody else saying anything over here in the chat? No, not right now. Okay. I think I'm going to grab another one of these backing tracks. I think tonight I'm going to try a random fusion track. Let's see how that goes. Let's see. So last night I basically went here, did open song, and then we did... Yeah, you're right. I've had amp regret in the past, yes. Hello. Hello, Scented Sage. How's it going? Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. Let's grab this track, or a track. A track, a mystery track. Ooh, what's going on here? The window is too large. It's outside of the parameters. I can't. Come on. Okay, forget it. Cancel. Try again. Hey, Sean, what's going on? Good to see you. And let's see. How about a Comfortably Numb or Purple Rain backing track? Ooh. Wow, I haven't played Purple Rain in like a year. My goodness. Oh, man. Let's see. I have to remember the arrangement that I put into my backing track. Let me think about that. Also, because of copyright purposes, I'm trying to get away from doing covers. Let's see. Once in a while, I just run direct into the Lone Star. Don't really need pedals. Yeah, the Lone Star is a great amp. Actually, I was using that model in the Axe-Fx for a while. The Lone Star is awesome. It's a killer amp. And after that, I was using the rectifier, the not the Mesa, the Petrucci one. It's the same one that Prince used actually. The 2C Plus. That's the one. Believe it or not, that's what Prince used. He used Mesa Boogie amps. A lot of people didn't know that because he never kept his stuff really in sight on stage. But he, as we all know and was able to see, all he used was Boss pedals. And his amp was a Mesa 2C Plus, I believe, from the 80s. Yeah. I see a bit of orange in your fly. Is that the lighting? No, this is actually what they call tangerine. Let's see if we can get it in the camera here. This is called tangerine. It's actually an orange. Let's get this off. Take that off there. And let's get the comment out of the way so you can see it nicely. All right, so it's tangerine. It's an orange. Yeah, look at that. You can really see the orange now. It's a killer guitar. This is Adrian Blue's signature model. There he is back there. He signed it. Adrian Blue. And it has the Line 6 Variax stuff in it. And also the regular guitar and the acoustic. So as far as Parker goes. So magnetic, piezo, and the whole crazy Line 6 thing. And I can hook it up to any guitar synth by Roland that I want. So there's just tons of options as far as sounds go. No, I won't get kicked off of YouTube. I just have to forfeit making any little bit of money that I make on the platform. But and also I don't know the real rules on Twitch, what they do. I think they'll just mute my video, but they're cool about it. What they do is they just mute the section of your video that has the song, whereas YouTube will either mute your entire video or not allow your video to be played in like a bunch of countries. And if they do, I could stream for 10 hours and play less than a minute of Purple Rain, and Prince gets the money for my whole 2-hour show, which is ridiculous. But anyway, let's see. It's the finest looking of those you own, in my opinion. Yeah, man. I really do like this one. This is a fantastic color. So I think it's a pretty sought after color. They make them in the regular flies, but Adrian, I think, started this specific color. It's called tangerine, and you can really see. Whoa, there we go. Once that light hits it, you can really see the orange. I think it was like last summer or a couple of summers ago. Excuse me. Wendy made homemade fresh orange juice in our juicer, and I took the guitar with the juice cup outside with the mason jar of juice and put it next to my guitar. And then I proceeded to drink the juice in the sun and play guitar for the rest of the afternoon. That was a healthy day. All right, let's see. JP2C. Yes, that's the one that's in the Axe-Fx. And then I think it's just the Mesa. Oh, there's a couple of different ones in the Mesa. We could actually look because I have it hooked up. I forget. They have so many. They have Recto Modern. They have Recto Classic. Let's see. Let's go to amps. Amps. And what we could do is I could show you what I'm doing here. Let's go to Axe Edit. There we go. So let's have a look at what amps are available. Go here. So USA Rhythm is what I'm using for my rhythm channel. But look at all of this great stuff. So here, this is the one, the USA 2C Plus, I believe, is the one that is more like the Prince model. And then the USA JP2C, then there's 3 different versions of that. Actually 4, look at that. And then Shred 5. So you could get lost in here, and I don't. So let me just explain what I do. I think a lot of the amps sound very different from each other, but when you're looking for a certain tone, it's nice to just know, like, oh, I want a Mesa tone, and that's what I'm going for. And then you pick that tone, and then you shape it to what you want to use. I don't get caught in using different amps per song. So, in other words, for my cover band or anything in general, I just use the same amps. So I hate doing like, okay, Van Halen used this Marshall and tweaked it this way, and then that's a preset for just Van Halen. But maybe that's just for Van Halen 1. And then when he got into the Sammy days, he used the PVs, right? And then that changed. So now you have all these different amps. I'm not really into mimicking every guitar player that I like and mimicking their amps, because I'm not interested in sounding like everybody else. So maybe that's what it is. I just really feel like, again, before we had all of these amps at our fingertips, you brought one amp to your gig. So why change? Just use the same amp inside the Axe-Fx and get your sounds. Now, as far as this is like the giant preset. So I have like everything that I need. This is basically here it is, V's Universe. So this is the preset that I usually just stay on for any given cover gig or anything that I do. I got everything I need right here. So, but that's the clean amp. And then when I go to my lead channel or the heavier rhythm, that amp changes to the FAS Modern 3. So you could see, oh, did it change? Yeah, there it is. So you could see that it changed. But that's it. Those are the 2 amps that I use. And then before I got really into this FAS Modern 3, I was using the Friedman. And the Friedman amp is killer as well. But again, it's like I don't really change amps per song or per guy that I cover or anything like that. Yeah. All right, so I've been chatting or talking way too long, so I missed a bunch of stuff. Where did that go? There we go. Ah, right. It's okay. Yeah, I saw that one. Okay, cool. And then it's the finest one. Yep, I saw that one. Okay, so here we are. So you can recall Larry using this to route his gear. Yes, he uses the FM3 for most of his fly dates. And the FM9 he was trying to use for fly dates, but it's still too big to fly with. I wouldn't trust it. So I have an FM9, but I'm not going to use that for any fly gigs at all. I use the FM9 for smaller, bigger gigs where I don't need the power of the Axe-Fx 3. But I really do love the Axe-Fx 3 because of the floorboard and the way it's laid out. And I have everything that I need without trying to go through different windows. And with that being said, still the FM3 is very, very versatile, and I love using that. So I usually go between the FM3, the tiny one, and the Axe-Fx 3. And again, the FM9 I do use, but not as often as the Axe-Fx 3, especially when I'm here. So, but when I teach, I actually do use the FM9 because that's a whole different setup than live streaming. So anyway, let's see. I do like the Fractal for sure. Yeah, it's a great piece. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff out now. I just really feel that Fractal does things a lot better than most of the other ones, other modelers or the other. I'm not really. Still, I'm not convinced on taking a laptop out and using like Guitar Rig or Neural DSP and using a USB, not a USB, a Bluetooth switcher. It's just not stable enough yet. I really don't feel it's stable enough, especially a USB connection, because I've had it drop out here when I've like done something on my phone, and then I lose connection with my footboard, and it's like, what just happened? And I'm like, oh yeah, I sent an email. So it's just something with Bluetooth that I feel isn't totally 110% foolproof yet. So I won't be doing that anytime soon. Um, but again, the tech is there, and a lot of people are recording albums. I mean, Pliny recorded, I think, his first album with the Axe Effects, and then as time went on, he started gravitating toward the Neural DSP stuff. But I've seen videos of him where he's using the Fractal Live, and he plays his Neural stuff at home. So let's see. I'm getting way behind in comments, I think, here. I found myself using amps that I actually know. Yeah, that's probably the best thing that you need to really do with any of the modelers is instead of going out and, hey, I never used this amp before, and trying that, and then thinking, that sounds like garbage, just go to the ones that you're used to. And unfortunately, all the ones that I'm used to, they don't have in here. So I love Hughes and Kettner. I love Laney. And I love Randall, and none of those were in the Axe Effects when, even now. So when I first got it, the only other amp that I thought I would like would be the Mesa Boogie stuff because, again, I'm not a big fan of the Marshall. I always felt they were too bright and not enough sustain for the way I play. And I always had to put pedals in front of them in the real world. And I just always knew that Mesa Boogie was kind of like an all-in-one package deal where you had different amp stages, much like the Hughes and Kettner. So I used a Hughes and Kettner, what the heck was the name of that amp? Triamp. And the Triamp is a 3-channel, but each channel has 2 channels. So it was basically like having 6 channels in an amplifier, which I never used all 6. I just used 3. Always use a clean, a edge of breakup, and a lead. And Randall was the same way. So when I got into modeling and using the Axe Effects, that was really the approach I took, was whatever amp sounded good for clean, then I would put a distortion pedal in front of it for my edge of breakup, and then I would go and use I believe when I first got into Axe Effects, I was using the Recto Red. That was the amp for me, the Rectifier Red, which was another Mesa model. But yeah, Larry uses a Marshall. I think it's called the Jumped Marshall. Jumped Plexi, something like that. And he uses, I can't remember what distortion pedal he likes. But there's an array of them. I mean, you can get anything you want in this unit. I particularly love the BB by Exotic, so I use that. So if we go back to my, where are you? Axe Edit View, and we come over to here, my drive pedal is a BB preamp. And that's because I have one. I own one. I was endorsed by them for years. I was on their page when they first came out. I was up there. I did some clinics for them. So I used the BB preamp in real life, and I just ported it over into here, and it does what I need it to do. If you look, the gain isn't even up that high. Bass and treble are pretty much straight up at 12, right? And then I kick that on for just a little extra oomph in my lead channel, and or the edge of breakup in the clean channel. Yep, that's pretty much it. So it's not, I mean, that looks crazy, I know, all right? That looks like insane, but it's really not that involved. It's just as if you were in the real world. Wah wah, compressor, pitch, which is a harmonizer, and then pitch 2 is actually pitch 1 is my whammy pedal, which I have set to be regular 1 octave up, and then on channel B I have 2 octaves up. Okay, let's set that back to A. And then this pitch is a regular octave, and then 2 should be a 5th, I think. Yeah, so chromatic, and I put the 5th in there. Right, so now drive is my BB preamp, phaser, just typical phaser. So it's just all the regular effects, but the beauty is you could have them all in here and it doesn't suck your tone away like a regular board does because there's no real patch cables. And that was another nightmare, having patch cables go while you're playing live and then you're trying to figure it out. So that just was another thing that I could not stand dealing with anymore. And really, I ditched stuff way before this. I was using TC Electronics G system before the Axe Effects, and that thing weighed a ton. And it was built like a tank, and they tested it by running it over with a tank. And it sounded amazing, and I used it with a 4-cable method. And I actually used, instead of dragging my head, finally I decided to get, what was that thing called? The Hughes and Kettner tube. It was a 3-button, 3-channel Tube Man. I think it was Tube Man. That thing was amazing. I should have never sold that. Sold that to a student. Here we go again with wanting to buy stuff back, but that's long gone. And again, I actually had it modified so it would switch with the G system. So it was like having a 3-channel head right on the floorboard. So it was really cool. Let's see here. Where are we? Oops. Using, there we go. I should learn to do Vince Giannella covers. Yes. That would be cool. That's awesome. I have a Candy Tangerine Fender Deluxe Strat, one of my favorite colors. Yeah, and for a while, that could have been also inspired by Adrian Blue because he was a big Fender guy before he became a Parker guy. And he was using some pretty crazy Strat and Fender style guitars on tour with David Bowie. So that could have been inspired by him. I don't know. I have no proof of that. I'm just saying. Chorus 120 Lone Star, Morgan 50. Yeah, you know, they have the Chorus, the 120 Roland. Sometimes I use that for a clean, like if I'm recording and I want that 80s clean. That's the best amp. 80s clean, throw the Chorus on there, and boom, it sounds like Def Leppard. Even though my other sound over here, and I'm still using the USA Rhythm, like this sounds pretty 80s. Put that pickup on. And of course, we got to ditch the crazy reverb. So another cool thing I do within the Axe Effects is I can change within one block. You could have up to 4 channels of that block. So you could have 4 different type reverbs. And then I usually have an A-B switch assigned to the actual on-off reverb. So for example, nope, we want the bigger one. So for example, this reverb on-off, that's just on-off. But if I press and hold this, it goes to channel A or B. So now we're back to channel A, which doesn't have the crazy shimmer. And I'll just shut the delay off. Alright, now if we go over to here and press and hold that, I get channel B of that particular block. And that's the shimmer sound, so that's really cool. And then of course with the whole scene option, I could have that programmed into a scene. So my first clean is the clean without that. And then with it. So the power of the Axe effects is just really, in my opinion, unmatched. Uh, so it's just ridiculously versatile. And it's not that hard to use if you approach it like you have these pedals in the real world and you just throw them on the chain and link them together. Okay, and then the foot controller is real easy to program because you could take the FC edit and just go here, and I can take, well, would help if I was in effects, and I can change these to whatever I want. So you're not stuck with anything, and it's really easy. A lot of people I see complain about how hard the Fractal is to use, but it's really not when you just understand how it works. It's super easy, actually. You just drag and drop stuff and connect it. All right, so probably enough Axe Effect stuff. You're probably bored. But let's see. Where are we here? I actually really like the FAS models. Yeah, they have some great amps. You know, Cliff is usually modeling the FAS stuff after particular amps that he really likes, and then does whatever variation and tweaks that he feels or that people would want or that he was looking for in particular. And I think the FAS is more of like a hot-rodded Marshall / Friedman, which a Friedman is already a hot-rodded Marshall, but I think that's kind of the modeling idea. Yeah. And I try not to get too caught up in that. There's so many people that just go nuts with what amps are modeled to what, and I just go by ear. I give it a couple seconds, I play. If it doesn't feel good, because that's the other thing that most modelers don't do, is the Fractal captures a feel of a real amp more so than all the other ones. So if it doesn't feel good to me, it's gone. Like in 2 seconds, I could play and I could feel I'm either struggling with it or it's too much of something or too little of something. Next, you know. So I think that's really the approach most people should take when they get a modeler, instead of trying to mimic tunes perfectly, because you're never going to get it on any of them. Because you got to remember, when you go into a studio and they mic your amp, or let's say when Metallica goes into the studio, or Van Halen, or whoever your favorite guitar player is, went into a studio and they mic'd their amp, they went into like $1 million SSL board with who knows what kind of plug-in and strips and compression, and then it gets mastered. So now you're no longer hearing that original guitar tone. You're hearing a guitar tone that has been manipulated probably 5 to 10 times over before it hits your ears in a mix. So it's really not an accurate measure of the tone search by saying, I want to sound like that, because there's so much stuff. Yeah, see, you get it. You know, there's so many other things that people don't understand that happened after it left the amp and goes to the mic. Sometimes it goes to 2 mics plus a room mic, and it's all blended. And actually, I think on the new update, they're doing stuff with that now, which is really incredible. I haven't really been doing much with Fractal lately as far as my beta testing and updating because of other things, so I haven't really had time. But I want to get back into it this month and make some time for it, because they did some really great advancements in the Axe effects, especially in the cab block. So if you have a Fractal and you haven't done the beta, check it out, because the beta has these cool features of being able to move the mic around and get your tone dialed in even better, which wasn't a possibility in the past. Yeah, and it's only certain cabinets. They didn't release it for everything right now. I'm sure they will soon. Let's see, EVH, where did I leave off? There we go. I like the FM9. It was just giant compared to the quad. Yeah, well, the quad cortex is smaller, and it's good if you're, you want to have that space, or save the space. That's why I like the FM3 so much. And as far as the quad cortex goes, it's a great piece, but I just can't wrap my head around any company in 2023 that doesn't have an on-screen editor. And I understand that it's easy to edit the buttons and all of that fun stuff, but I'm just not thrilled with that. So I know they're working on it now, and it's probably going to get released finally. But I have no need to even investigate it because I like what I have, and I'm not really a guy to just do gear demos to show people anything. I only demo what I use. I even sold that way when I was in retail. I never sold the spiff so I could make the extra money because half the time the spiff was stuff that the owners just wanted out of the store and it was garbage. So I would never sell that way, and I was always number one salesman of the month because I never sold that way. I sold honestly. I said, look, you can get the spiff and save some money, but I'm telling you, you're going to bring it back. And I would give them both examples of why you'd bring it back and why you wouldn't bring it back, and also why the other one was better. But yeah, it's I know it's a breeze to edit, but really the aspects is too once you learn it. It's really not that hard. Let's see, what was the other thing you said? Back up, stop moving. There we go. Quad Cortex has a cab block you can use. Move mic, select mic's distance. Yep, so that's what Fractal's doing now. They're getting to that point. Let's see. What did Jamie have to say? Where is that? Where did that go? Here it is. Larry hasn't visited here for a while. He once visited my former studio in prep for a Nathan East gig many years ago. Oh, cool. Yeah, we've had Wendy and I have had Larry over many times, and he's just not been out this way in a while. And the last time he was, our schedules didn't line up, so that was just not happening. And I think that was like about a year ago. Maybe not. Maybe it was like August. But still, that's almost a year ago. Let's see. Crystal clean. Yeah. It's great. Yeah, I took the Cooper Carter courses, and the interface just didn't sit right with me. Counterintuitive. Oh, okay. Well, everybody's got their thing. So, there's no forcing anything on anybody these days because you try it, you don't like it, you move on. You just get something else. I'm interested. How did you like the Cooper Carter course, though? I hear his courses are awesome. That's what I hear. I haven't taken them because, I do my own thing. But I hear his courses are pretty awesome. It seems like everybody that has taken them says that they're pretty good. So let's see. Jamie. It's a lot easier than routing stomp pedals through a bunch of patch bays yeah, it is, really, it is. It's just like you drag and drop stuff around on the grid, you'll link them together, and you're done, and it's awesome. So, alright. It's a breeze to edit. Yes. It's kind of piecemeal through it. Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. What do I have here? All right. So we're getting a little late here. I was just gonna do an hour, but we're going, so why not? All right. I'm gonna do a tune. We'll do one of my tunes, and then we'll call it a night. Let's see here. What do I have queued up? Let's do Zero Gravity. Seems like people dig that one. All right, we're going to do a little Zero Gravity and call it a night here. So one tune, and then we're off. All right. Well, everybody, it's been fun again. Love talking about gear. Hope I didn't bore anyone. And I appreciate everybody, who's been donating and or doing the bits and subscribing over on Twitch. Greatly appreciated. And eventually, like I said, I'm probably going to wane off of the Facebook, but I did pay for that, so I'll be doing it at least until June. But I realized I had a lifetime. I guess I'm grandfathered in at a specific price, so if I leave this particular platform, then I won't get that deal anymore. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But if I'm not streaming to 10 places at once, there's no point. So my point is go to YouTube and go over to Twitch and sign up, follow, and subscribe over there. And I'll see you soon. Take care. See you next time.